All sewing machines' tension seems to get a bad rap. People always blame their problems on the tension. Now, let me tell you a few things about tension you should probably know. Number one, your sewing machine is going to act as good as the quality of thread you put in the machine, and if you've changed your needle or cleaned your machine in the last couple days. You will find that those three things will make such a difference when you're sewing. Tension should not be the first thing you change, unless, for example, you're using one thread in your bobbin and one thread in your needle that are a different weight. Well, of course, that's where the stitches are going to be unbalanced. So, for example, I was doing some free motion quilting, and I had some variegated thread in the needle, and I had the pink thread you see up here in my bobbin. So as you are looking here, this is the back side or underneath side, and the bobbin was pulling my threads to the back and leaving what I kind of call these little eyelashes or spider webby look things. So what we have here is a balance. I want the stitches to pull more to the top side. So everything that is associated with tension is adjusted from the top. So in this case, I wanted the stitches to pull up or tighter. So when we talk about changing numbers for tension, we're talking about going a whole number, maybe a number and a half, just to get it to start to look a little different. Now, if you ever forget which way to turn your tension dial, you might go the opposite direction, and tell you the truth, it's going to look twice as bad. So that would be clue number one, to go the other way. So if you don't have tension totally understood or you mastered, just know that if you turned it one way and it got worse, go the other way. So I might go up to about 5.5 to start with, try it again, and then if it's getting better but not all the way fixed, go up another number, maybe closer to 6.5. It's not a problem to have this higher if your threads are two different weights. Now, if you're seeing threads, your bobbin thread, up on the top side, number one, before you change the tension, just double check that your bobbin is actually in its tension down below, and then that way it's not just loose and being pulled up by the stronger thread that is in its own tension. So make sure your machine's always cleaned, make sure it's always threaded correctly. This should be the last thing that you actually change, but it's okay to change it. Now, if you've ever had little kids come and play in your sewing room, you probably have noticed they like to turn dials and push buttons, which is fine because all you have to do is kind of find that medium number, which is 4 for this machine, and kind of start there and then work along the way. So if your stitch is pulled to the top, loosen your top tension. Again, don't go just a little bit, go a whole number or a number and a half worth of change, and I guarantee you can dial in your machine to be perfectly balanced no matter what thread you're using.